3 months into Super Mario Odyssey, and it's clear to me that the game belongs up there with Super Mario 64, the Super Mario Bros. Trilogy, and Super Mario Galaxy as the greatest Mario games of all time. This amazing game was able to combine and reimagine all of the greatest aspects of previous Mario games and contains hundreds of secrets in the form of Power Moons. However, as great as the game is, it is not perfect. My name is Copycat, and welcome to the top 5 worst things about Super Mario Odyssey. Number 5. No real story. If you're a huge fan of the Super Mario series, then you'll know that the majority of its games and its vast library contain basically the same story. Bowser captures Peach, Mario goes on an adventure with very little to no context behind what he's doing, Mario defeats Bowser, and Mario rescues the princess. Because Super Mario Odyssey feels like such a different game, I feel as if there could have been a more fledged out storyline, and I don't think it would have affected the gameplay very negatively at all. Maybe the addition of a few more cutscenes, and I know that Mario doesn't talk, but Cappy does and could talk for you, would have made the game a little bit more interesting. Number 4. The boss battles. One of the coolest boss battles in the game takes place against the dragon in the Rune Kingdom. The dragon is significantly bigger than Mario, and at first glance, looks like he could swallow him whole. However, once the fight starts, you realize this boss is actually really easy. This seems to be a common theme in Super Mario Odyssey, as none of the bosses are overly difficult at all. Even the Bowser boss battle is pretty simple in comparison to what have been seen in previous boss battles in other titles. I do understand that Nintendo wants people of all ages to be able to play their game, but if you even just look at previous games like Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, or Super Mario Galaxy, then you'll realize the bosses in these games at least put up a little bit of a fight. I think the addition of Bowser Jr. or maybe even Boo would have made things a bit more difficult, but maybe they were holding on to those characters for a sequel. Number 3. The Cloud, Ruined, and Lost Kingdoms. One thing I was very disappointed about was the size of some of the game's most interesting kingdoms. The Cloud and Rune Kingdoms were both pleasant surprises along Mario's adventure, but both feel very unutilized, as both are made up of a relatively small area with only a handful of moons to find. The Lost Kingdom, which seems like an obvious homage to Super Mario World, is one of the most interesting in the entire game, but feels as if the map could have been vastly bigger. The moons in this kingdom feel very jam-packed, and this small island acts more like a small puzzle environment than an actual kingdom. I hope Nintendo realizes that people want kingdoms more like the Sand Kingdom, a really wide open environment that houses tons of secrets, than small kingdoms that are oversaturated with secrets. I hope in the sequel to Super Mario Odyssey that they revisit some of these kingdoms and strive for quality over quantity. Number 2. The ending. One of the most annoying parts of the entire game takes place right at the end. After defeating Bowser in battle and rescuing Princess Peach, you would expect her to be appreciative of what you just did. I mean, you literally just travel across varying kingdoms, fighting a lot of bad guys just to get to her. Maybe she'll give you a kiss on the cheek like in the original Super Mario Bros. Trilogy, or bake you a cake like in Super Mario 64? Nope, she decides instead she wants nothing to do with you, never even says thank you, and just proceeds to steal the Odyssey. I get that maybe Peach seeing Mario and Bowser fight over her may have made her upset, but why would she keep screaming for help if she was just gonna be unappreciative about what you did? I mean, you literally defeated a dragon and some crazy rabbits just to get to her. I mean, geez, what else do you have to do? Number 1. Easy moons. Coming in at number 1 on this list, the biggest complaint I have about Super Mario Odyssey is that some of the moons are just way too easy to get. Most of the moons in the game are achieved by solving a small and simple puzzle, which is completely different than how stars were achieved in previous Mario games. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a few difficult moons that take a bit longer to try to get, but there are some that are so easy that they are literally right in the open. And those moons that are difficult to get aren't impossible to get, they just take a little bit of time and practice to achieve. I feel like the creators of the game maybe oversaturated some of the kingdoms with moons, and a few hundred of them could be taken out, and the rest could be made a bit harder to get. I think another reason why they feel really easy to achieve is because the kingdoms themselves don't really have any very difficult platforming sections like previous Mario games, so that feeling of overcoming something difficult like making it to the end of a very difficult platforming stage just isn't in this game. I hope you all did enjoy today's video, and let me know in the comments below if I left any other bad things about Super Mario Odyssey off this list. Of course, I still think this game is amazing, especially if I'm still playing it long after its release. I think I'm just able to see the game in a slightly different way because I've been playing it for so long. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.